Hey, it is so great to be here with you guys tonight. Our cross-country trip is geared for level 3 and 4 riders. What that means, we ride on average about 55 miles a day, averaging just over 4,000 feet of climbing per day, about 4,500 feet. So, are you an active and avid rider who enjoys climbing and descending steep and hilly terrain? Do you love Italian food, culture, medieval hilltop views, and cycling from the Adriatic Sea to the Mediterranean without a shuttle? If so, then our cross-country trip is certainly calling your name. You might be asking, what's included in the trip price? Well, what's included? Your hotel, guides, daily breakfasts, some lunches, 3 dinners, 2 social hours, a bike equipped with a Garmin GPS, helmet, 3 options per day, to name just a few. What's not included? Well, airfare, transportation to and from the trip start, lodging pre and post trip, some meals, and of course, gratuities for your guides, which we thank you in advance. Our route across Italy begins as we dip our toes and rear wheel in the Adriatic Sea in Rimini. We then traverse the enchanting regions of the Marche, Umbria, Lazio, and Tuscany to the Mediterranean coast. Along the way, you'll indulge in sumptuous cuisines, world-renowned wines, and charming medieval towns. We will ride across the rugged, misty Apennine mountain range, roll through vine-covered landscapes, and climb up the towering tufa mesas of Umbria before you celebrate your journey's end on the stunning Orbitello Peninsula in Tuscany with a sunset cocktail in hand. On our route, you will discover the essence of the heartland of Italy. We start our coast-to-coast journey in the beach resort town of Rimini. The afternoon's ride passes through the Republic of San Marino and picturesque farmlands before climbing into Urbino. Urbino is a beautifully preserved Renaissance town that has been attracting artists and scholars alike since the 15th century. Tonight, we'll explore this UNESCO World Heritage Site and dine in a small bistro along with winding cobblestone streets. Urbino feels like a city frozen in time, where houses and palaces of weathered brick clustered around steep, narrow streets with misty mountains stretching mysteriously beyond. Thus begins our adventure. Day 2 takes us into Umbria and the Parco del Montecucco, before tackling Passo Madonna del Cimi, our first pass in the Apennine Mountains. Today, we will enjoy lunch at a medieval monastery of Fontoavellino, located in the wooden slopes of Mount Catria in Umbria. Its origins lie in the early 11th century, when some hermits chose to build the first cells of a hermitage, which over the centuries would become this very monastery. Here we enjoyed lunch, a fresh pasta of the region, torta al testo, a typical Umbrian flatbread at the monastery. Then the afternoon's ride winds through the jagged cliffs of Montecucco to our luxurious hotel, which is situated just a few kilometers from the beautiful medieval town of Gubbio. Today is your day to feel like a pro. You will enjoy an active recovery ride. The ride starts with a gentle warm-up, climbing along forgotten roads through the Umbrian villages. The tranquility of the woods, combined with views of rugged farmland and olive groves, will bring peace to your body and mind. Upon reaching the summit of the climb, a well-deserved descent awaits. The views of Assisi from above are as magnificent as the descent itself. The stunning medieval village of Assisi is best known as the birthplace of St. Francis, Italy's patron saint. This afternoon, as you explore Assisi, you have your choice for lunch at one of the village's many trattorias. We encourage you to take some time to explore its Roman ruins and sacred shrines. After lunch, it's a short descent to the quiet hillside town of Spello, our home for that evening. Day 4 begins with the lovely 20-kilometer spin through the fertile valley below Monte Subasi. Our day's climbing begins around the 21-kilometer mark, a perfect time for the legs to have warmed up. Upon reaching the medieval village of Tori, you may decide to grab a coffee and take a break. Tori overlooks the Vati Barina, the Tiber River Valley, and foreshadows what's to come. The day's descent takes us on down to the Tiber River, and our route carries us on to Orvieto. Orvieto is built on Etruscan ruins and rises 1,500 feet from the floor of Paglia River Valley and sits atop almost vertical faces of tufa cliffs. Surrounded by defensive walls and medieval houses, the village is truly astounding, as you can see here in this photo. This evening, we encourage you to stroll through the enchanting town before meeting the group for a visit to a 13th century cellar, complete with a wine tasting and dinner. Does life truly get any better? I don't think so. After a freshly baked cornetto, paired with the perfect cappuccino at our hotel, day 5 begins with a climb from Orvieto to Banno Reggio, where you'll cycle through the ancient ghost town of Civita di Banjoreggio. After a few rolling climbs, we will descend to the serene shore of Lago di Bolsena, the largest volcanic lake in Europe. Enjoy a quick break here before lunch at an agroturismo. Soon, our final climb will commence into the region of Tuscany through the forested slopes up to the Orbitello Peninsula. The Orbitello Peninsula will lead us to our final destination. It's now time to dip a toe and your front wheel into the Mediterranean and celebrate in style with an Aperol spritz in hand and toast to a week-long cycling adventure coast to coast in Italy. On our last morning of this amazing trip, linger over a second cappuccino and soak in the gorgeous views from the breakfast patio. Lounge by the infinity pool overlooking the Mediterranean Sea or wander down to the grotto. Before you bid your farewells, stroll through the grounds of the hotel one last time and savor the picturesque, beautiful landscape of Italy and the Orbital Peninsula. As you sit back and enjoy the coffee, some of these moments are sure to return to your memory. Cycling across the rugged, misty Apennine Mountains, which form the spine of Italy. Logging 280 miles with just over 24,000 feet of climbing as we go from coast to coast in 5 short days. Wandering the twisty alleyways of the medieval town of Gubbio, beautifully set on the lower slopes of Mount Tingino. Savor fresh green olives and the crisp, dry, white wines of the Orvieto. Enjoy a spontaneous gelato or coffee and savor in true Italian hospitality. We're sure you'll never forget this bike trip across Italy, and truly this will feel like your vacation of a lifetime. We look forward to seeing you soon in Italy. And now back to you guys.